Vaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jaya Mudirayet Nashtaprayeshva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatyuttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtike Om Ajnanatimidandhasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रीमद् भगवद गीता की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, समावेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमः। Hare Krishna, dear devotees, I welcome you all to today's Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita session. Today is March 31st, 2026. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 8. We started the 8th chapter yesterday, and this chapter is entitled Lord Krishna shows the universal form within his mouth to his mother, to Mother Yashoda. So there will be once again different pastimes, several pastimes in this chapter, beginning with the name-giving ceremony of Lord Krishna and Balaram, then the pastimes of Krishna crawling and stealing butter, and also Krishna eating dirt on the pretext of eating dirt shows the universal form to his mother. So all these pastimes will be covered in this chapter. So yesterday we saw that Gargamuni, the priest of the Yadus, on being requested by Vasudev, and also about Gargamuni, who is Sumahatapaha, the person who is very highly elevated in tapasya. That actually means a great devotee of the Lord. Such Gargamuni, he went to Nanda Maharaj's Vraja on the request or being inspired by Vasudev. Then we saw how Gargamuni was received by Nanda Maharaj. So Nanda Maharaj was very pleased, supremely pleased, when he saw Gargamuni in his house. So as soon as he saw him, he stood up, pratyuthaya, and then he folded his hands, kritanjali, and then he worshipped Gargamuni. How did he worship him? So the beginning of reception is by washing the feet, and then it concludes in offering nice meal. So he worshipped Gargamuni considering that he was actually worshipping the Supreme Lord. That's how he worshipped Gargamuni. It is said he worshipped as if he was seeing Adhokshaja. Adhokshaja means one who is not perceived by our senses. The Supreme Lord cannot be seen with our material senses. But when Nanda Maharaj saw Gargamuni, he thought, Adhokshaja, who is not seen, who is not perceived by our senses, has personally come to me in the form of Gargamuni. That means through his representative. He's such a great devotee. So when he worshipped Gargamuni, he worshipped the way he would worship the Supreme Lord, like that. Then Pranipata, he humbly offered obeisances. He fell down and offered obeisances in front of Gargamuni. And then puruṣaḥ means he did, I think, he worshipped again, like that. He offered obeisances, pranipata, and then he worshipped, like this. So in between lines, something else also is explained. I will just try to cover that, what I didn't explain yesterday. So when, why did Gargamuni come to Nanda Maharaj? He came to do the name-giving ceremony. Remember, Vasudeva was concerned because Kshatriya's child should be named. That means the Namakarana Samskara should be done within 100 years of birth. And for Brahmanas, it is within 1 month. For Kshatriyas, the latest is 100 days, not after that. And that had come, 100th day had come. So therefore, Vasudeva was very keen. So when he asked Gargamuni to please go and perform the name-giving ceremony of his sons, both Devaki's son and Rohini's son, Krishna Balaram. So then Gargamuni said, how can I do that? If I do that, then Kamsa can suspect. So then Vasudeva explained, no, it has to be done very, very secretly. And when you go there also, you don't show any eagerness or excitement to do the name-giving ceremony. Because you see, Gargamuni is also a great Jyotishi, astrologer. He can, Garga Samhita. He has, the way Vyasdev has given us the Vedas. The Vedas are eternally existing. They're eternally existing. Of course, Vyasdev has given them to us in a written form. But from time to time, these Vedas, and Vedas include Puranas, Itihasas, everything is included in the Vedas. They disappear from human society. Sakale neha mahata yogo nashtaha parantapa. This is the nature of the material world. As time passes, things start dwindling. And the yoga becomes, yoga disappears. The Vedas also disappear from the society. That means they are not accessible. Like right now, we have only a very small portion of the Vedas, which were given by Vyasdev 5,000 years ago. A very small portion of that is now actually available to us. It happens. And then when they just disappear altogether, then we need Vedas, because for anything, for us to conduct our lives, The knowledge is coming from Shastra, from Vedas. Shastras means Vedas. Sacha Shastrameva, Sacha Vedameva. That means Shastra means Veda only. But when Vedas disappear, then how the society will be conducted? So at that time, Lord Brahma orders all the rishis to perform tapasya. The way Brahmaji performed tapasya at the beginning of creation, by that tapasya, meditating on the Lord, the Vedic knowledge was imparted to him within his heart from the Lord. Isn't it? And then Brahmaji passed it on to his disciples. So similarly, within this universe, as time passes, we have the four yugas: Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, Kali Yuga. So when in Kali Yuga, when the Vedas disappear from human society, once again at the beginning of Satya Yuga, how the Vedas come back into society, you know? Lord Brahma orders the rishis to perform tapasya. By dint of their tapasya, they are able to access the Vedas. So where are the Vedas at that time? When they are not, or when you say when they are, available in society, it's not that they are gone permanently. They are there in the atmosphere, but they are not accessible to us. The Vedas also enter into Prakriti when Karanodakashaya Vishnu glances. They are there. So in the universe, the Vedas are there. But to access those Vedas, one has to be in the mode of goodness. So only the advanced rishis, by performing tapasya, they are able to access the Vedas within their heart. And then when the Vedas appear in their hearts, they speak to their disciples. And they are written down if needed. In previous yugas, there was no need of writing down. In Satya Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, and Treta Yuga, there was no need of writing down the Vedas because people were so advanced. By hearing from Guru, they could retain it and then pass it on. But in Kali Yuga, because we have, prayen alpayusha sabhyah kala vasmin yuge jana manda sumanda matayo manda bhagyahi upadruta. We have all these disqualifications. Therefore, Vyasadeva gives us in a written form. But otherwise, when the Vedas are illuminated in the heart, then they are passed on to the next generation, to the disciples. And in this way, once again, the Vedas enter the human society. So when you say Vedas, we all know we have Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Sama Veda, Atharva Veda. But not only these four Vedas, there are also Puranas, 18 Puranas. 6 are Satvika Puranas, 6 are Rajasika, and 6 are Tamasika Puranas. And then you have you have Itihasas. Itihasas means Mahabharata is Itihasa, history. Apart from this, these are the Vedas, but there is also Vedangas. Vedangas means these are supplementary to the Vedas. That means these are helpful in understanding the Vedas. This is also, Vedangas is also knowledge. So it's also the Vedic knowledge, but this is called Vedanga, supplementary knowledge. So in Vedangas, you have Jyotisha, astrology, Vyakarana, grammar, then Kalpa, Nirukti, Shiksha, Chanda. These 6 are called Vedangas. What are the 6 Vedangas? You have Jyotisha, Vyakarana, Kalpa, Nirukti, Chanda, and Shiksha. So the meter in which you should recite, then grammar of, so it's a science. When you study grammar, then when you read the Vedas, you are able to understand. Similarly, what are the different meters in which the verses are recited, like that? And also, the phonics, right? The sounds, like this. So these are supplementary branches of the Vedas called Vedangas. And also you have Mimamsa, Nyaya, Dharma Shastra, Ayurveda, Dhanurveda, Gandharva Veda. Then Sthapatya. Sthapatya means architecture. So Ayurveda, Dhanurveda, Gandharva Veda, and Sthapatya are called Upavedas. They're called Upavedas. So you have 6 Vedangas, then you have, of course, the 4 Vedas, and you have the 4 Upavedas. And in addition, you have Mimamsa, Nyaya, Dharma Shastras, like this. So these are the 18 topics that are taught in Gurukula. So what I'm trying to get at is, Jyotisha is also a Vedanga, astrology. And why it is Vedanga? By Jyotisha, you can, with the help of Jyotisha, you can understand who, the candidate. First of all, you can identify what is his varna by astrology. You can understand exactly what his nature is. If he's a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, and accordingly you can train him. You see? So Garga Muni has given us the scripture. Garga Samhita, he has given the scripture. Why I told you all this is, you may think that, oh, scriptures are not given by human beings. They are, the energy of the Supreme Lord, how somebody can actually be the author. That's why I explained to you. The rishis actually, by their advanced spiritual practices, they are able to access the Vedic knowledge within their hearts, and then they give it to us. Like that. So my point is, Garga Muni is such an exalted personality, and he's a great devotee too. And by, what do you say, generation after generation, his whole lineage were the priests of the Yadavas, of the Yadu dynasty. So he was very well known as the priest of the Yadu dynasty. So he came to Nanda Maharaj's house specifically to do this samskara, the name-giving ceremony of Krishna Balaram. Of course, because he's a great astrologer, he knows Krishna is the Supreme Lord. And also that he had appeared to Vasudev. He even knows what Vasudev doesn't know. Vasudev is thinking that Krishna is only my son, but Krishna appeared to Nanda Maharaj also, that we discussed yesterday. So like this, Garga Muni came, but he had to be extremely careful in not revealing, not making, in his words, there should not be even a slight mistake which would reveal to Nanda Maharaj or anyone else that Krishna is actually Devaki's son. That shouldn't be revealed. But at the same time, Krishna's name-giving ceremony must be done that day. So Vasudeva had said that you don't show any excitement and it has to be done very secretly. Nobody should know about this. And you talk in such a way that Nanda Maharaj himself will urge you to do this name-giving ceremony. So when Nanda Maharaj saw Garga Muni come to his house, he was supremely pleased and he was so honored. Such a, renowned astrologer and a great devotee and the priest of the Yadavas has come. Certainly he would feel that, oh, how wonderful it would be, how great it would be if my sons could be, their name-giving ceremony can be performed by Garga Muni. So, after, and Nanda Maharaj, we also saw, with very sweet words, because that is his personality. His name is Nanda. Nanda means who's very, very pleasing. So, in very pleasing words, he gave great pleasure to Garga Muni by his reception, by his service. After taking prasadam, Garga Muni was comfortably seated. Then he just, like a general talk, he said, oh, Nanda Maharaj, I heard that after a long time, you are blessed with a son. And also I heard that Rohini's son is also, with you. Just, like while talking, he just mentioned just like that. That was enough. That small clue was enough for Nanda Maharaj. He immediately had the mothers, Rohini and Yashoda Mai, bring the children. How old were they now? They were about 100 days old, not yet 100 days. I think it was the day, the 100th day. That means just over 3 months old babies. So he had the mothers bring both the boys, babies. And when Garga Muni said, I heard you had a boy and, Rohini also had a boy. Rohini's boy is also here. Then immediately Nanda Maharaj had the mothers bring the boys. And then he told the boys to offer obeisance. Well, 3-month-old babies, I don't know. But, about Krishna and Balaram, it is said that they grew up very fast as compared to ordinary babies. Because when they were, I think, like 2 years old or 3 years old, I forget, they were already looking like they were 5-year-old. So they grew faster than ordinary babies. That we should remember. So anyway, because now they are 100 days old, but Maharaj said that Nanda Maharaj, he said, told them to offer obeisances to Garga Muni, and they happily offered obeisances to Garga Muni. And then Garga Muni also blessed them. But also, it is said that as soon as, when the babies were brought, especially when he saw Krishna, he was he's a great devotee, so amazed by the striking beauty of Krishna. And he just kept looking at him. And when they came and they offered obeisances, he also blessed them. He's also going along with, because of course at this time, Krishna Balaram, they were in the mood of babies, right? So he also went along with that. He just blessed them. Then Nanda Maharaj took both the babies in his lap. So on either side, he had both the boys sit on him. And then he gestured to Yashoda Mai and Rohini, Mother Rohini, to go inside. So it was just him, Nanda Maharaj, with Krishna Balaram and Garga Muni. This is the situation. So then, now this dialogue is happening. Let's see. So this is the scene. So, Supavishtam kritatithyam gira sunritaya munim nandayitva bravid brahman purnasya karavamakim. So, after nicely being seated, receiving the hospitality of Nanda Maharaj, and pleasing the Muni with sweet words, and Nanda Maharaj spoke. What did he say? He said, "Oh Brahman, you are Vedas, like so knowledgeable in the Vedas, you're completely, it's like you're like the Vedas personified. You have all knowledge with you. You are Purnasya, you're complete in yourself. What service can I do for you? Can anyone do for you? Because you're not in need of anything." So this we discussed yesterday, how Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explained that this can, you can take this in two ways. That if Nanda Maharaj is saying you are complete in yourself, then what can anyone do for you? What can I do for you? Karavama kim, मैं क्या कर सकता हूँ? Since you are complete in yourself, what can I do for you? Then Garga Muni would say, if I'm complete in myself, then why did I come to your house? That's one. Then second meaning can be, Nanda Maharaj is saying, Garga Muni, oh Brahman, even though you are complete in yourself, if you are expecting something from me, you want me to do something, please let me know so I can do that for you. So then in response to that, Garga Muni would say that if I am complete in myself, then what can you do for me? What will I need from you and what can you do? There's nothing you can do for me. So like that, okay? That's the question where this shloka ends. So Nanda Maharaj is asking, you are complete in yourself. Still, if there's anything you want me to do, please let me know. So then the next verse, today's verse, fourth verse. So in response to Garga Muni's statement, what did Garga Muni say? That if I'm complete in myself, then why I have come to your house? That means I have come to your house means I'm not complete in myself. I need something. That's why I came to your house, right? Why did I travel and come to your house if I'm complete in myself? See, if you're fully satisfied, let's say, you have eaten fully, right? Then would you go to a place where they're serving food if you're already fully satisfied? So that's Garga Muni's point. That I'm complete in myself, then why I have come to your place? So in answer to that, now Nanda Maharaj is saying, mahad-vicalanaṁ nṛṇāṁ gṛhiṇāṁ dīna-cetasām niḥśreyasāya bhagavan kalpate nānyathā kvacit. So this also, I actually yesterday explained this to you. So mahat means great devotees, right? Great personalities, sadhus, mahat, right? Vichalanam means they travel to different places. Chalanam, they go to different places. Mahad-vicalanaṁ, nṛṇāṁ, right? Where are they going? To the houses of ordinary people. That means to the houses of householders. So great personalities, sadhus, travel to different, they travel great distances and various places to visit the homes of householders. Why they go to the homes of householders? Can't the householders go to the sadhus? No. They go to the homes of householders because gṛhiṇāṁ is the gṛhasthas, dīna-cetasām. Dīna-cetasām can be explained like yesterday what I told you, if you remember. They are so caught up in their household, in maintaining their households, in earning money to run the family, and just keeping up with the day-to-day maintenance, that they cannot get away from home. Because if they left home, who will take care of those things that have to be done at home? So they cannot leave home. They don't leave home. They are very reluctant to leave home. One reason. The other reason is that they are used to the comforts of their home. Like you have whatever you need. You don't have to go and beg in front of anyone for anything because this is your home, right? You eat what you want and however you want, and you sit and sleep, whatever, right? You're not being watched or being corrected or chastised. But when you go to ashram, maybe the sadhus will just, chastise you or correct you and scold you. And they're not, they cannot take that because of mana, right? Self-respect. So they don't like to go there. So that's why they don't go to the ashrams of sadhus. So gṛhiṇāṁ dīna-cetasām. But also, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains dīna-cetasām means dīna, in a very simple-hearted and very humble, really. Dīna-cetasām means they're very humble because they feel that, we are so helpless. We are just caught up in our household activities, and they're very humble because of being helpless. Such householders, simple-minded, dīna-cetasām, see here it is said, who are very simple-minded, being engaged in family maintenance and nothing more. That means they become very humble, that we are so caught up in our household duties, we don't have time for going to take association of sadhus like this. So, such householders. gṛhiṇāṁ dīna-cetasām. So, mahad-vicalanaṁ nṛṇāṁ, great sadhus, they are going to the homes of householders. gṛhiṇāṁ dīna-cetasām. Why they are going to the homes of householders? Because these householders are dīna-cetasām, right? They're not able to get out of their household. They're just caught up in that. And, they're so helpless. Then the mahads are going niḥśreyasāya. That means they're going to benefit such householders. These mahads are going to the homes of householders. niḥśreyasāya. Niḥśreyasāya means to benefit, right? To benefit. Shreyas means to do some benefit to them. They're going only for the sake of benefiting those householders. Bhagavan, who's saying, Nanda Maharaj is saying to Garga Muni, "Oh Bhagavan, kalpate nānyathā kvacit." There is no other reason except benefiting the householders. There is no other purpose, no other motive behind a sadhu's going to the house of a householder. There is no motive. Na nānyathā kalpate kvacit. Bilkul nahi hai. Right? Kvacit means not at all. There is no other purpose. Why Nanda Maharaj is saying this? Because Garga Muni said, if I am already satisfied, if I am complete in myself, why I have come to your house? I have come to your house means I am expecting something. That's why I have come. So in response to that, Nanda Maharaj is saying, no, great sadhus, great personalities, they travel, they go to householders' homes simply to benefit them. Because householders are dīna-cetasām. They are caught up in their household activities. They don't find the time or opportunity to go to the sadhus to get their association. So therefore, out of their kindness, the sadhus go to the homes of householders to benefit them. There is no other purpose except this. Like this, Nanda Maharaj is saying. Right? Translation. Oh my Lord, oh great devotee, Nanda Maharaj is saying to Garga Muni, oh my Lord, oh great devotee, persons, so bhagavan means oh my Lord, mahat is great devotee. Persons like you move from one place to another, vicalanam, not for their own interests, niḥśreyasāya, but for the sake of poor-hearted gṛhasthas, householders, dīna-cetasām, right? gṛhiṇāṁ, dīna-cetasām, for the sake of poor-hearted gṛhasthas. Otherwise, they have no interest in going from one place to another. Kalpate nānyathā kvacit. There is no other, they have no interest in going from one place to another for themselves, not that they're going to get some donation for themselves or anything. Even if they ask for donations, it is to benefit the householder only, not that they are expecting something. Like this, Nanda Maharaj is saying to Garga Muni. That means you have come here not because you need something, you are already fully satisfied, but you have come to benefit me. That's the idea. So now let's read Srila Prabhupada's purport. As factually stated by Nanda Maharaj, Garga Muni, being a devotee, had no needs. Yes, he had no needs. Why? Yoga kshema vahamiham. Devotee does not worry. Sometimes our devotees think that, in my classes, I see, even in physical classes, when I give classes, I see from the questions that are asked. One thing that I heard is that when you surrender to Krishna, make sure that you have, saved enough money so that you will be, you don't have to worry about that. So you save enough money in the bank. I heard that even for brahmacharis, they are preached that if you want to quit your job and join the temple to become a full-time brahmachari, then you make sure that you save, a few lakhs of rupees or whatever amount, I don't know. Nowadays, if it's lakhs, crores, whatever, I don't know. But you have to have some money in the bank in your name. Then you join, then you can peacefully live as a brahmachari. And about retired devotees also, they say that if you want to, full-time, just simply engage in Shravanam, Kirtanam, so that you don't have to worry for your maintenance, you work nicely and earn money. And, now because the prices are going up and cost of living is going up, so what you thought earlier would be sufficient is not enough. You need more and more. Their time is spent in that only. No, this is not more enough. We need some more. And they're just working and earning and earning and earning. And then you can actually, surrender to Krishna. Surrender to Krishna means now, yes, now I have sufficient. With this, I will be able to now do bhakti peacefully. This is not called Dhrida Shraddha in bhakti. This is not Dhrida Shraddha. This is Shraddha in your bank balance. This is Shraddha in your insurance or whatever else you have. That's not Shraddha on Krishna. Dhrida Shraddha in bhakti in Krishna means Ananyas chintayanto mam ye jana paryupasate tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam vahami. You will not be able to depend on Krishna like that if you are counting on your, securities that you are saving, this is going to save me. How you will depend on Krishna? You won't depend on Krishna. You will think of your securities. You won't think of Krishna. But Ananya, that's why you focus on depending on Krishna. How? For that, you cannot do it artificially. You have to increase your faith in Krishna by hearing his glories more and more and more. By hearing his glories, then you will get that confidence. Yes, Krishna will protect me. That is called surrender. Avashya rakhibe Krishna. Rakshishyati iti vishvasa. Goptritve varanam. We will get that confidence. Krishna will protect me. It is not artificial. Theoretically, we hear it's not going to just happen like that. You have to get that conviction. You will actually believe it in the core of your heart that only Krishna can save me, not any of these things. When you get that of conviction, then you're actually a pure devotee. Your only dependence is on Krishna, not on anything else. Your dependence, so that you will know in your heart, whatever I may say externally, what is in my heart, that is reality. You see? So here we are seeing that Garga Muni, what is Srila Prabhupada saying here in the purport? Because he's a devotee, being a devotee had no needs. That's the point. He has no needs. That means, oh, for me to, run my ashram, I need this and I need that. Even if they do it externally, they don't depend on anyone, that's why they are so fearless. They don't have to flatter anyone. They don't have to flatter rich men that these big donors will give me donations, then I'll be able to run my temple. That's not the consciousness of a devotee. No, a devotee is not dependent on the donors. Even if he asks some donation, he is only depending on Krishna. He is just doing it as a matter of his service, not that because of this person my temple is going to run. Then he is not a pure devotee who's completely dependent on Krishna. No. So see what Srila Prabhupada is saying in the first line. As factually stated by Nanda Maharaj, Garga Muni, being a devotee, had no needs. Then why he came to Nanda Maharaj's house? Was he expecting something? No, he's not expecting anything. He's not expecting anything. Why? Because he's a devotee. A devotee has nothing to expect from anyone. He's only dependent on Krishna. And also he's not expecting that Krishna will do this for me. Krishna, he is like Atma Nikshepaha, right? And also Karpanyam. Karpanyam means very, very meek and humble. If Krishna keeps me, I will live. If Krishna kills me, I will die. I don't have any other choice. This is surrender. So he doesn't have to ask anyone for anything. As factually stated by Nanda Maharaj, Garga Muni, being a devotee, had no needs. Similarly, when Krishna comes, he has no needs, of course. The devotee has no needs. Krishna has needs. When Krishna comes, he has no needs, for he is Purna, Atmaram. He's self-satisfied. He's complete in himself. Does he need my, the bhoga that I offer? Does he need that for him to fill his belly? No, he doesn't need anything. But still, what he is hungry for is our devotion. Then you may say, oh, so he's expecting that from us. But that devotion is not yours or mine. That is his own internal energy. So he's not depending on anything outside of himself. His swarupa. Bhakti is within his swarupa. It is his internal energy. Condensed form of his internal energy is Bhakti Shakti. So that he's investing in the hearts of devotees and he's tasting. He's not depending on anyone. He's Atmaram. He's tasting his own thing. Okay. So when Krishna comes, he has no needs, for he is Purna, Atmaram. Nonetheless, he descends to this material world to protect the devotees and vanquish miscreants. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam. Here also, Srila Krishna Chakravarti Thakur explains, Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam means not that he is coming to save the devotees from some material pains. Not like that. What is the pain of sadhus? The pain of sadhus is not getting darshan of Krishna. So they are in separation from Krishna, not being able to see Krishna. They don't complain. Sadhus don't complain about material problems. What do they think? Whatever suffering I'm going through, I deserve much more than this. Krishna is so kind, he's only giving me a token of what I'm supposed to suffer. So they will never complain. Paritranaya sadhunam means, but still they are suffering. What is the suffering of sadhus? Sadhus means these are like premi bhaktas. Not getting darshan of Krishna, that is their greatest suffering. As if they are on the verge of death. So to save them from that suffering, Krishna comes to give them darshan. Like that. Paritranaya sadhana. Then vinashaya cha dushkritam. To kill the miscreants means not just ordinary miscreants. For ordinary miscreants, even one prakriti is sufficient. I mean, just one tornado or one hurricane, one earthquake is sufficient to kill them. Does Krishna have to come to kill the dushkritinas? No. Vinashaya cha dushkritam means, those asuras like Ravana, like Hiranyakashipu, to kill them, Krishna himself comes. And by the way, that is also Leela, right? Ravana, Hiranyakashipu. That's a whole pastime. But he comes for such, specifically like Hiranyakashipu, Ravana, will come for them to kill them. So, does Krishna need anything when he comes to the material world? No, he doesn't come. Krishna only comes for his devotees. That's all. And while he comes, automatically everything else happens. But he doesn't come for that purpose. Example is like when, let's say, the Prime Minister is visiting a particular village. He's coming there to open a hospital, let's say. He's coming to open a hospital. The Prime Minister is going to a village to open a hospital. Now, because the Prime Minister is coming, automatically the whole village gets cleaned up, whitewashed, roads are built and everything. Yes or no? Now, the Prime Minister is not going to the village to clean up the village and to make the roads and all that. He is going just for 15 minutes to open that hospital and then he's gone. Similarly, when Krishna comes, he comes just for the sake of his devotees. But while he comes there, automatically all the other cleanup happens. Not that he's coming for that. That should be understood. So, Srila Prabhupada is saying, when Krishna comes, he has no needs because he is Purna Atma Rama. Nonetheless, he descends to this material world to protect devotees and vanquish miscreants. This is the mission of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and devotees also have the same mission. Same mission means the devotees are very, very, like when there is devotion in the heart, as the devotion increases, the heart becomes very, very soft. It becomes very responsive to the sufferings of others. A soft heart, a devotee's heart is very soft, and as soon as it comes in touch with the suffering of others, it starts melting. And then it flows towards that person in the form of compassion. So that compassion is nothing but the devotion of this devotee. So the way about Krishna, it is said, Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam, right? Here Srila Prabhupada is saying devotees also have the same mission. What is the same mission? They want to remove the suffering of all people, and the root cause of all suffering is forgetfulness, turning away from Krishna, turning your back to Krishna. So they want to awaken everyone to Krishna consciousness. That's the point here. They have the same mission. One who executes this mission of para-upakara, performing welfare activities for people in general, is recognized by Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as being very, very dear to him. nānyathā manushyeshu kaścin me priyakritamah. This is said in Bhagavad Gita. Krishna says that after saying the whole Bhagavad Gita, about this Bhagavad Gita, one who speaks this Bhagavad Gita to the devotees, because don't speak this Bhagavad Gita to non-devotees, is said. But one who teaches this Bhagavad Gita to the devotees of the Lord, there is no one more dear to me than him, Krishna says. nānyathā manushyeshu kaścin me priyakritam. Nobody is more dear than that person. Why? This is the same principle. Devotees' mission is, they want, because this is the Lord's mission. Of course, the Lord does not directly come and preach, but Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is a different story. But he sends his devotees and he gives us the scriptures. He leaves behind scriptures like Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam for us. This is for people in general. I'm not talking about devotees. For people in general. He sends the devotees, and the devotees are traveling all over, preaching the Lord's message, waking people up, giving them mercy, so that they develop some faith and begin to hear the Lord's glories and begin to chant, giving opportunities to the unfortunate conditioned souls. Devotees are the ones who save them. And such devotees are very, very dear to Krishna. One who executes this mission of para-upakar. Para-upakar means welfare activity. What type of welfare activity? Not just giving some food or clothing or shelter. Performing welfare activities means especially bringing them to Krishna consciousness. This is recognized by Krishna as being very, very dear to him. Similarly, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has advised this para-upakar, and he has especially advised the inhabitants of India. Bharata bhumite haila manushya janmajar, janma sarthaka puri karo para-upakar. One who has taken his birth as a human being in the land of India, Bharatvarsha, should make his life successful. First, we should do this. Help yourself before you help others. Should make his life successful. And then work for the benefit of all other people. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Leela, chapter 9, text 40. On the whole, the duty of a pure Vaishnava devotee is to act for the welfare of others. For this sake, he is traveling. It is for this sake that Sanat Kumar went to the home of Prithu Maharaj. It is for this sake that Bali Maharaj, not Bali Maharaj, Vaman Dev went to the home of Bali Maharaj. And it is for this sake that Srila Prabhupada traveled at such an advanced age across the oceans to go to America and then all over the world to do para-upakar. What is the highest para-upakar? to awaken people to Krishna consciousness. That's the highest paramātmeti. And this is recognized by Krishna. Such a person there's no one who's more dear than that person to Krishna. Krishna himself is saying. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is specifically saying anyone who has taken birth in India, it is his duty or her duty. Bharata bhumite hoilo manushya janma jar. Janma sarthaka kori paro paropkar. So first, we should make our own lives successful. And then we should do welfare activities for others. What are those welfare activities? What can we do? We can give mercy. But for us to give mercy, first of all, we should have that bhakti. We have to be the carriers of the mercy of the parampara. If we are not practicing sincerely, we cannot be the carriers. It will not have the effect. If I am not practicing pure devotional service, then my preaching can only convince the other person to that extent. And if, as members of this society, if we are not strictly practicing, and if we are also talking to people and, sharing Krishna consciousness with them, can you imagine how the whole society will be watered down, compromising with the standards that have been actually given to us. So we have this responsibility to very strictly, with all our energy, try to practice sincerely what has been given to us. And while trying to practice it ourselves, then share it with others. To give mercy to others, it is said, one has to be a madhyama bhakta to give mercy to others. Or you are connected to a madhyama bhakta and you are giving mercy. That means you are being an instrument of that mercy. You are connected to a madhyama bhakta. Like that. And who is a madhyama bhakta? A madhyama bhakta is a pure devotee. 24 hours. Endeavoring 24 hours to do Shravana Kirtana Adirupa Bhakti. Like that. So, yeah. That means the point is, like Srila Prabhupada said, we have to boil the milk. It's not just about increasing the numbers. Now we have to improve the quality. No harm in increasing the numbers, but along with the numbers, there has to be work done to improve the quality of those who are there already. We should work on improving the quality of devotional service being performed by every individual in our particular groups, whether Bhakti Vriksha group or temple, like that. Then if every group is working like this, then overall the standard of the whole society will go up. Starts with us first, individually. First, we have to try to do it ourselves. And then we have to inspire others by our example and teaching. Otherwise, it won't be effective. One who has taken his birth as a human being in the land of India should make his life successful and work for the benefit of all other people. On the whole, the duty of a pure Vaishnava devotee is to act for the welfare of others. Srila Prabhupada said that I didn't come to your country to take anything from you. When he went to America, he said, I came here to give you. Or when he went to, I think, England. So you took everything, but you forgot one thing. The real valuable thing you didn't take from India. I came to give it to you. Krishna consciousness. So that should be our spirit also, wherever we are. We should not be in some place, any place in the world, to take something from them, something material. That should not be the reason why we are in a particular place. That's not the mood of our Acharya. A devotee is a giver. See what we are reading here about Garga Muni? Nanda Maharaj is saying, you are not going to ask something because you are in need of anything. You're going to benefit. So what is the highest benefit that we can do? Savai pumsam paro dharmo yato bhaktir adhokshate ahaituki apratihata yayatma suprasidati. The sages in Naimisharanya asked Sutta Goswami, what is the highest benefit for all men, for the whole humanity? Please tell us, what is the highest benefit? And then in Kali Yuga, people are so lazy, unfortunate, less intelligent, disturbed, so many problems. And there are so many types of scriptures. They will not be able to come to the conclusion on their own. So you do that. You find the essence of all scriptures. And you give us what is the best path, best practice that is to be taken up to get the highest goal. So what was the answer of Sutta Goswami? Savai pumsam paro dharmo yato bhaktir adhokshaje ahaituki apratihata yayatma suprasidati. Savai pumsam. Pumsam means for men, human beings. Paro dharma. What is paradharma? Highest dharma. The highest dharma is sadhana bhakti. That means Shravana Kirtana Adi Rupa Bhakti. Chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And worshipping the deity. Everything else that we are taught. Shravana Kirtana Adi Rupa Bhakti. This is paradharma. Sadhana Bhakti. Shuddha Sadhana Bhakti. This is paradharma. This is the highest dharma for all human beings. And by doing this, what is the highest benefit one can get? Yato bhaktir adhokshaja. They'll get bhakti for adhokshaja. What type of bhakti? Yato bhaktir adhokshaja. Apratihata. Unmotivated and uninterrupted. Savai pumsam paro dharmo yato bhaktir adhokshaja. Ahaituki apratihata. Yayatma suprasidati. So, bhakti for adhokshaja, which is ahaituki and apratihata. This is prema bhakti. You can get the goal, the highest thing that you can get is you can get love of Godhead. Prema bhakti. By that, yayatma suprasidati. One is completely, the self is completely satisfied. That's the highest thing. So, if you want to do welfare for people, what should you do? Garga Muni is going for what purpose? To do welfare for the householders. What is that welfare? Give them that paradharma. Paradharma means somehow or other, engage them in sadhana bhakti. To do sadhana, what is sadhana bhakti? Sadhana bhakti means anyabhilashita shunyam jnana karmadhyanavritam anukulyana krishnanushilanam. That means 24 hours Shravana Kirtanadi Rupa Bhakti only for the pleasure of Krishna and which is not covered by karma, jnana, etc. This is sadhana bhakti. And that's what sadhus want to give to the poor householders and all poor people in the world. But to do that, one needs dṛಢa shraddha, firm faith. That is the fuel which will allow one to do devotional service like this, 24 hours. Then how to get that firm faith? To get that firm faith, you have to hear Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. So therefore, the best thing you can do for people is to help them build that faith, make them hear Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. But as Srila Prabhupada says, or as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Janma sarthaka kori karo para upkar. First you have to understand properly, you have to hear yourself nicely. You have to hear nicely first. And then you go and speak. Then you can actually do some benefit. If you don't study properly, if you don't hear from the right source and understand properly, then you cook up your own khichdi, something from here, something from there, and just serve khichdi. That's not going to benefit the people. That's not really para upakar. That's not going to build their faith. You want to bring them, by building their faith, you want to bring them to the stage of sadhana bhakti, shuddha sadhana bhakti, by doing which they can ultimately get prema bhakti. Savai pumsam paro dharmo yato bhakti radhokshaje ahaituki apratihata yayatma suprasidate. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying, one who has taken his birth as a human being in the land of India should make his life successful and work for the benefit of all other people. So this is upon all of us. On the whole, the duty of a pure Vaishnava devotee is to act for the welfare of others. Nanda Maharaj could understand that Garga Muni had come for this purpose and that his own duty now was to act according to Garga Muni's advice. Thus he said, please tell me what is my duty. So what is Nanda Maharaj saying? You have come to do me benefit. So then in that mood, you tell me, give me some duty, because you are giving me this duty for my own benefit, not because you need something. So please tell me what is my duty, like that. This should be the attitude of everyone, especially the householder. Householder's attitude should be like this. The Varnashrama society is organized into 8 divisions: Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, Brahmacharya, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, and Sannyas. Nanda Maharaj represented himself as gṛhiṇāṁ, a householder. A brahmachari factually has no needs, but grihis, householders, are engaged in sense gratification. As stated in Bhagavad Gita 2:44, bhogaishwarya-prasaktānāṁ taya-pahrita-cetasām. Bhogaishwarya-prasaktānāṁ taya-pahrita-cetasām vyavasāyātmika buddhi samadhavna vidhiyate. That means those who are too absorbed in sense enjoyment, they cannot get this determination to do Shuddha Bhakti. Okay? Taya pahrita cetasam. And they're completely like they're lost in that. So much, they're so absorbed in bhoga, aishwarya, right? Opulence and sense gratification. They cannot get the determination. So, grihis, householders, are engaged in sense gratification. Everyone has come to this material world for sense gratification. That is why it's important. See, everything is connected. Where are all the living entities coming from? All these living entities are covered by avidya, coming from the body, from the glands of Karanodakshaya Vishnu. So all the living entities here covered by avidya, what are they qualified for? They're qualified to do karma. Until and unless they meet a sadhu, why will they do karma? They'll do karma for artha. With artha, they want to do kama, sense gratification. So everyone in this world, when you come to this material world, they come to this material world for sense gratification. And the position of those who are too attached to sense gratification and who therefore accept the gṛhasthashram is very precarious. This is also, you have to admit, why does one enter into gṛhasthashram? For sense gratification. I will have my own house, then I will have my wife who will cook for me, and I'll have my children and this and that. This is sense gratification. You don't need it. But because you are not able to, you are not willing to, or you don't have the qualification, right, to live the austere life, the renounced life, then you enter into gṛhasthashram. What is Srila Prabhupada saying here? Everyone has come to this material world for sense gratification. And the position of those who are too attached to sense gratification and who therefore accept the gṛhasthashram is very precarious. We should understand the dangerous situation in which we are in. Instead of that, we just try to give some, things. We say things like, no, everything should be dovetailed in Krishna consciousness. That is afterwards. Because we are here now, we don't have any other alternative. So now dovetail what you have in Krishna's service. That is another thing. But it's not that everything is fine. Even as a grihastha, you can become a pure devotee. If your goal is to become a pure devotee, why you want to become a grihastha in the first place? So we should not cover it up, sugarcoat it, trying to say that I am becoming a grihastha so that I will, become a big preacher and I will spread and, Srila Prabhupada is saying here in the point. We are the thing is, the grihastha, the whole idea is, what is the main point here? Dīna-cetasām. Dīna-cetasām. Those grihasthas who are actually humble and are feeling very helpless that I'm in such a precarious condition. Rasapriya, turn on the light. It's getting dark. Rasapriya. Light. Dīna-cetasām is important. Householders who are actually feeling that they are in a very precarious condition because of being in household. We don't have time for Krishna consciousness. We are being pulled this way, that way, in every way. Sometimes our hearts are going, sometimes for my occupational duty, sometimes for my family, sometimes for my community, and for my animals, for my servants, and for my wealth and property. Where is the space for Krishna consciousness? Dīna-cetasām. But those who have dīna-cetasām, dīna-cetasām means they're feeling very, very helpless. Krishna, I'm in such a precarious condition. Please save me, please save me. Such grihasthas can actually be benefited by the association of sadhus. Not the grihasthas who are very proud, thinking that, so what? I'm earning and I'm giving donation and I'm fine. In fact, I'm the one who's supporting all these renunciates and the temple is running because I'm giving donation. Such grihasthas will not be able to benefit. They will not be able to benefit. That is the message being given here. We should catch the message, what is being said. So let's read Srila Prabhupada's point again here. The Varnashrama society is organized into 8 divisions: Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, Brahmacharya, Grihastha, Vanprastha, and Sannyas. Nanda Maharaj represented himself as gṛhiṇāṁ, a householder. A brahmachari factually has no needs, but grihis householders are engaged in sense gratification, As stated in Bhagavad Gita 244, bhogaishvarya prasaktanam taya pahrita cetasām, everyone has come to this material world for sense gratification. Of course, everyone has come for sense gratification. And the position of those who are too attached to sense gratification and who therefore accept the grihastha ashram is very precarious. Everyone is attached to sense gratification, but those who are too attached to sense gratification and therefore accept grihastha ashram, their position is very precarious. Are we feeling like that? Since everyone in this material world is searching for sense gratification, grihasthas are required. They are required to be trained as mahat, great mahatmas. Therefore, Nanda Maharaj specifically used the word mahad-vicalanaṁ. Garga Muni had no interest to serve by going to Nanda Maharaj. Not that he's expecting something for himself. But Nanda Maharaj as a grihastha was always perfectly ready to receive instructions from a Mahatma to gain the real benefit in life. Thus, he was ready to execute Garga Muni's order. Okay. So, what should be the mood of a grihastha is being said here. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur also says that when great saints leave their ashrams and travel outside, they bring the highest fortune to the householders. Such mercy is beneficial and necessary for the grihasthas on earth, but not for the brahmacharis or the demigods. So this mercy of Mahats, great sadhus, is required for grihasthas who are on earth, not for the demigods in heaven or for brahmacharis, it is said. Grihasthas, important point. Grihasthas who are humble and think themselves lower than the grass, dīna-cetasām, can receive mercy from the wandering mendicants. Grihasthas who are humble and think themselves lower than the grass can receive mercy from the wandering mendicants. But proud, hard-hearted grihasthas with crooked mentalities can never receive mercy from the saints. Point to be noted. Proud, hard-hearted grihasthas. What is hard-heartedness? This is also important. You know what is hard-heartedness? When your heart is influenced by these three modes, it becomes very hard. Even when you do bhakti, there is saguna bhakti and nirguna bhakti. Saguna bhakti means you're doing bhakti, you're doing Swarupa Siddha Bhakti, Shravanam Kirtanam you're doing, but you have ulterior motives. That means your bhakti is tainted by the modes. If your bhakti is tainted by the mode of goodness, it's called Satviki Bhakti. Satviki Swarupa Siddha Bhakti. Tainted by goodness means what? You desire liberation. I want to go back home, back to Godhead. I don't want to live in this material world. I want to be free from all these sufferings of this world. That is Satviki Bhakti. Rajasi Bhakti means within this material world, you have, I want a higher position. I want to be the leader of this community. Or, I want more wealth. Like that. This is called Rajasi Bhakti. What is Tamasi Bhakti? You're doing Bhakti, but you want to destroy your enemy, right? The other camp, they are my opponents. They should be destroyed. They should be defeated and crushed completely. This type of mentality is called Tamasi Bhakti. All this, Rajasi, Tamasi, Satviki Bhakti is called Saguna Bhakti. This is not Shuddha Bhakti. Shuddha Bhakti is Nirguna, not influenced, not tainted by any of the modes. Nirguna Bhakti, that is Shuddha Bhakti. So, if the householders are proud, while doing bhakti also, if they are proud and hard-hearted, I was explaining to you what is hard-heartedness. Hard-heartedness means your heart becomes hard because of the influence of these modes, goodness, passion, and ignorance. But if you're doing pure devotional service, your heart becomes very, very soft. If it is tainted by the modes, it becomes hard. Such hard-hearted devotees, grihasthas, hard-hearted gṛhasthas who are very proud, they will not be able to take advantage of the mercy given by sadhus. So that's the end of this verse. And I think we will also stop here, but I want to just read Bhagavad Gita. We completed this verse, at least we completed this verse, that's good. Tomorrow we'll do text 5. Well, I was trying to read this yesterday, but I think yesterday also I said I will not read because the purport was long. Text 23. Upadraṣṭānumantā bhartā bhoktā maheśvaraḥ paramātmeti cāpy ukto dehe smin puruṣaḥ paraḥ. So the purport we can read tomorrow. I'll just explain the words to you today. So we are reading about Purusha and Prakriti. Now what is Prakriti? What is Purusha? About Purusha, we read in the previous verses, the living entity is the Purusha. Yes, the Purusha and Prakriti. This Purusha is situated in Prakriti. He's enjoying the objects that are coming made of Prakriti. And why he's changing his bodies? Because of association with the modes that we saw in the previous verse. Now, another Purusha is being explained. There's another Purusha, Paramatma. Not just the conditioned soul Purusha. There is this conditioned soul is artificially, he is thinking he is the enjoyer. He's claiming to be the enjoyer. He's trying to be the enjoyer. But the real Purusha is Paramatma. About that Paramatma it is being said here. Upadraṣṭā means he is the witness. Anumantā means one who sanctions, right? Sanctions. Anumantā cha bhartā, maintainer, bhoktā. Generally we think bhoktā means he is the enjoyer, but here bhoktā means he is the one, the proprietor, right? He is the proprietor. Not even proprietor actually. Bhoktā means he is actually bhoktā means he's the maintainer is said, but bhartā, bhoktā both are there. We will see as we discuss. Maheśvaraḥ. Maheśvaraḥ means yes, he is the supreme proprietor. Paramatma iti cāpy ukto. So who is this? He is Paramatma. Iti cāpy ukto dehe smin puruṣaḥ paraḥ. So he is also in this body. But he is paraḥ Purusha, means param Purusha. He is also Purusha, but he is supreme Purusha. And what are the characteristics of this Purusha? Upadraṣṭānumantā bhartā bhoktā maheśvaraḥ. Paramātmeti cāpyukto dehesmin puruṣaḥ paraḥ. Yet in this body there is another, a transcendental enjoyer, who is the Lord, the supreme proprietor, who exists as the overseer and permitter. And who is known as the Supersoul. So, about this, I will just tell you a little bit. This Paramatma. Here, bhoktā means maintainer, it is said. Bhartā is also one who is maintaining, but bhoktā also does not mean enjoyer, it means maintainer. So within our heart, or within the heart of everybody, there is the Jivatma covered by avidya, but right next to that Jivatma is also Paramatma. What does Paramatma do? He is upadraṣṭā. He is simply observing how this Jivatma is experiencing and enjoying the various objects of Prakriti. He is simply observing. He is a witness. And bhartā means the Jivatma is able to remain in this body only because of the mercy of Paramatma. The Paramatma is the one who is, it is because of Paramatma that the Jivatma is able to stay in this body. He is bhartā. And bhoktā, normally bhoktā would mean the enjoyer. But in this context, we should not take it as enjoyer, we should take it as maintainer. How is that? If Paramatma is not there in the body, then no functions of the body would be happening. Nothing. The respiratory system, digestive system, circulatory system, nothing would function. Yet, even though it is because of Paramatma that this body is functioning, Paramatma does not have abhimana. Abhimana means he doesn't take the pride that it is because of him that everything is running here. Although it is a fact, but he doesn't get the abhimana. Abhimana means identifying with that body. However, the Jivatma has abhimana. The Jivatma identifies with the body. So, the Jivatma is covered by subtle and gross bodies, and next to Jivatma is Paramatma. In the heart, the Jivatma is in the heart. Paramatma is also in the heart. And this heart is in the gross body. The gross body has hands, legs, head, belly, etc. Now, just imagine if there is a thorn in the foot, if a thorn pricks the foot, the Jivatma feels the pain. Jivatma is in the heart. But because the thorn pricked the foot, the Jivatma is experiencing pain. How is that? The Jivatma is in the heart and he is far, far away from the foot. How he is feeling that pain? The Jivatma didn't go to the foot. It is still situated in the heart. Or if an ant crawls on my hand or a mosquito bites my hand, I feel it. And I am situated in the heart. I am not in the hand, but I am feeling that. How am I feeling that? The way light is produced from the lamp, right? There's a light there. But the light from that lamp is spreading everywhere and illuminating the whole room. How is that light traveling to the whole room? Or another example is incense. You burn incense and the whole room becomes fragrant. How is that fragrance spreading to the whole room? Air is carrying it. Yes? Air carries that fragrance. Similarly, the living entity has its consciousness, right? This consciousness is there throughout the body. Like the fragrance of the incense is there throughout the room. Like that, the living entity's consciousness is there throughout the body. Of course, it's limited to one body. It's not all over to one body. But it can feel throughout the body. Even though the living entity is in the heart, the consciousness is there throughout the body. How? How is the living entity's consciousness spread throughout the body, you know? Paramatma, who's sitting next to the Jivatma, has his consciousness. Paramatma has his consciousness. Paramatma is present in every atom. He is sarvantaryami. He is antaryami in every atom and also between two atoms. He is present everywhere. So his consciousness is spread everywhere. So with the help of Paramatma's consciousness, Jivatma's consciousness is spread throughout the body. Okay? The way the fragrance of an incense is carried by air In the same way, the Jivatma's consciousness is carried by Paramatma's consciousness. On its own, Jivatma cannot spread its consciousness. It is dependent on Paramatma's consciousness. Therefore, Paramatma is the bhoktā. He is the one who is maintaining the Jivatma. He is the bhartā. He is the sakshi, right? Anumantā, upadraṣṭā. He is everything. He is everything. So, maybe with that I can stop today. And tomorrow we will read Srila Prabhupada's purport because it's already past time. If anyone has any questions, 1 or 2 questions, if you have, I can take. And those who need to leave can leave, no problem. Yes, Mataji, Rajikishori Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. We were talking about the Vedas coming into the world, being manifested. But in a Srimad Bhagavatam, in the Prithu Maharaj is the story. The Garuda came and he was waving his what's it called?
Wings.
Wings. And
Samaveda comes.
Veda, yes, Veda was overproduced.
Yes.
So how do we work that one out? Because then that way they came to the world.
So the Vedas first entered. So the Vedas are eternally existing. It's not that the Vedas are created at a certain point. The way the Lord is beginningless, his energies are also beginningless. Vedas are also his energy. When the Lord glanced on Prakriti before creation, that's when the Vedas also entered into Prakriti. That means in the universe, the Vedas are there. But when does one access those Vedas? You access those Vedas by performing tapasya. That's how we have seen. So Garudji is a personal associate of the Supreme Lord. So when he is being an associate of the Supreme Lord, he will definitely have, just now, not just now, but earlier I was reading, Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojitaha Janayatyashu Vairagyam Jnanam Chayad Ahaitukam. That means when one does, pure devotional service, when one gets that prema bhakti, then this jnanam and vairagyam, they automatically come to that person as a byproduct. So what type of jnanam are we talking about here? There, when we say jnanam, that means the sweetness of the Lord, his forms, his pastimes, they're all revealed to the devotee. So all the Vedic knowledge will be revealed to a devotee. So Garudji is a devotee of the Lord, and by his flapping the wings, so that means when he is flying, when he flaps his wings, from that the Samaveda is, Samavedas are, created, no? They emanate. So they are, it's like you can be reciting Samaveda mantras in your house at this time, right? So
Yes.
you are chanting. Like that, when Garudji is flying and he is flapping his wings, the Samaveda mantras are being uttered like that by the flapping of Garudji's wings. But it doesn't mean that they are created the very first time from there. That's not how it is.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna. Okay, any other questions? Okay.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes, Mataji, Swati Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. According to these ingredients, yesterday you told very nicely. With Bhava Bhakti, what will happen, Mataji, to our body? Next, what will happen in that stage?
So, right from the beginning, as you start Shuddha Bhakti, after Dridha Shraddha, when you start your bhajan in the association of in Sadhu Sangha, when you start bhajana kriya, your anarthas are being eradicated. What exactly is happening is, by the strength of this pure devotional service, right now we have a material body, subtle and gross bodies. They're material bodies, material mind, material intelligence, material body. The materialness is getting digested. The materialness is being digested and it is being expelled out. That's what is happening. And we are also, our bhakti or our love is growing little by little. It is happening even in the beginning stages also, we are developing that love. However, the quantity is very small. So therefore, you cannot call it bhava at that stage. Just like this example is given, you are hungry, very hungry, and you are eating. Let's say you are eating rice, dal, sabji. So you eat one morsel. What is happening with the first morsel? Your hunger is being mitigated. You are enjoying the taste of that prasadam. And also, your body is becoming strong. Your body is getting nourishment. With each and every morsel of food that you're eating, three things are happening. Your body is becoming stronger, your hunger is being mitigated, and you're getting that taste, you're enjoying the taste of that food. But can you say that after eating the first morsel, now, your hunger is gone? No. For you to actually feel that now I'm satisfied, you should eat 15 to 20 morsels. When you eat 15 to 20 morsels, then you'll feel like, yes, now my hunger is satisfied. Similarly, from the beginning, when we start doing bhajan, there is that affection for Krishna or that love or bhava, gradually it's coming in proportion to the... So three things are happening here also when you do bhajan. What are the three things? You will be developing love for Krishna, and your anarthas are being eradicated. I think you get detachment. I forget the third one. If anyone remembers, you tell me. But otherwise, I'll refer to it and I'll tell you. But three things are happening here also. But only in the stage of bhava, you can actually call that now, you have substantial amount of bhava that you can actually call it a stage. This is bhava stage. It's not that it is not happening before, but the quantity is so small, it is not sufficient to actually feel, to experience it. That experience comes, although it is happening before, but it is not sufficient for you to feel it. That feeling, that experience you will get when you come to bhava stage. That's one thing. And I said, our anarthas are getting eradicated as we progress, right? When we are doing sadhana bhakti, and the materialness in the body is being digested. This is also explained with an example. When you eat food, let's say you eat an apple with the skin and everything, you just eat an apple. It goes into the stomach and the digestive juices are acting on that apple. What do? So the fire of digestion is acting on that apple. There is waste material in that apple and also there is nutrition. So what this fire of digestion does is, it takes all the nutrition, assimilates all the nutrition and sends it into the blood. And whatever waste material is there, it will just expel it out of the body. Similarly, when we are doing bhakti, sadhana bhakti, what is happening is our body, consisting of gross and subtle bodies, is like that apple. All the materialness in this is being expelled out, and the transcendental thing is retained. Now, you combine this with the previous example that I gave about morsels. This is happening gradually. It's not that immediately everything, by the time all the materialness is removed, and then there is only spiritual body, that is in the bhava stage. So when you come to bhava stage, there you don't have a material body anymore. Rather, you are awarded the spiritual body of an associate of the Lord, which is in the budding stage. In other words, you are given a relationship with the Lord. And now when you're performing devotional service, you're acting in that relationship, you're on that platform. However, it is still within the heart. It's not face to face in bhava stage. And the mature stage of bhava is prema. And in prema, you actually get face to face darshan of the Lord. Bhagavad Sakshatkara happens after prema. So what exactly happens in bhava? The material body is finished and you get a spiritual body. That's what happens in bhava. The beginning, the budding stage of your spiritual body happens in bhava. Was that okay?
Yes, Mataji. Thank you.
1 second,
Hare Krishna,
Prabhuji.
Mataji.
Done? Okay. Yes, Prabhuji.
Mataji, Hare Krishna. I was just trying to get my head wrap around the concept of who is getting the real pain or pleasures, since the body is dull matter
Mm.
and the soul is pure spirit, like Sachidananda Bhagavan.
Yes.
Who is the I that actually feels the pinch or the pleasure? Is it the mind? I heard that you mentioned that it's the consciousness throughout the body that reflects on the mind, or if the mind is just a material, let's say material machine, how can a dead matter feel anything at all without the
Exactly.
soul's presence? If
Yes.
you explain it again, Mataji, thank you.
Okay. 1 second. Hmm. So this is the spirit soul, transcendental. And then the spirit soul has a covering of avidya. Because of avidya, and also, of course, spirit soul has karma also. Then there is further coverings of this is ahankar. Then there is chittam, chitta. Then there is buddhi, intelligence, mind, senses, gross body. And outside this body, there are so many sense objects that he's getting attracted to. So your point is, this Jivatma is transcendental or is spiritual. Whereas the body, consisting of gross and subtle bodies and also even the sense objects, this is material. Material means unconscious. Yes. So who is it that is enjoying? Dull matter cannot enjoy. And the spirit soul, being spiritual, cannot touch matter, cannot enjoy matter. So, who is enjoying here and suffering? Is it the body or is it the soul? Right? Who is enjoying or suffering? If you take it separately, matter is dull and hence cannot enjoy or suffer. Proof is a dead body. Dead body, you don't see that the dead body is, you kick a dead body, it's not going to retaliate. Or you put a nice garland on a dead body, it's not going to become happy. That means the body is not the one that is enjoying or suffering. Then if you say the soul is conscious, no doubt, but it is different from matter. Just like oil and water, they don't mix, right? So soul cannot taste or touch or feel matter because they're different padarthas. Then who is it that is enjoying or suffering? Right? That's why it's called Maya. That enjoying and suffering is not real enjoying or suffering. It's not real enjoying or suffering. It's Maya. So the details of this are explained in Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, 5th chapter. I believe text is 9, if I'm not mistaken. But this is the conversation between Vidura and Maitreya. I'll tell you in essence. What exactly is happening here is the living entity. So this is avidya. So, what is the role of avidya? What does avidya do to the spirit soul? You remember?
It covers your what is the exact what you use?
Makes you forget that you are soul.
Forget history, yeah.
Yeah. So because of avidya, soul forgets the self. This is likened to darkness. Are completely surrounded by pitch darkness. You don't see anything which is present in the room. Yes? When your eyes are completely covered by pitch darkness, you don't see the things that are present in the room. Similarly, when the soul is covered by avidya, the soul is not able to see the self. I'll also say this. Eyes covered by darkness cannot see the objects. Now, does this mean that the eyes don't have the capacity to see? No, it doesn't mean that the eyes have no capacity. This does not mean that the I lost its capacity to see. You just have to turn or come out of darkness. You just have to come out of darkness. And then the eyes will be able to see once again. Okay? So this is the role of avidya. When the soul is covered by avidya, the soul forgets that it is soul. It's just like when the eyes are covered by darkness, eyes cannot see anything. But that does not mean this darkness has stolen the eye's capacity to see. Nothing is stolen from the soul. The soul has all its features as it is. But because of avidya, the soul is temporarily not able to see itself as soul. Okay? If you can remove this darkness, if this avidya is removed, all the qualities of the soul are there intact. Now the soul will be able to see itself. The soul will be able to see itself. So what we have to do is remove this avidya. This is first covering. Then because of avidya, now the soul gets another covering called ahankara. By the way, this avidya, ahankara, this is all prakriti. That means it is unconscious. Prakriti, material energy only. Now the soul gets another covering ahankara. What is the role of ahankara? Already the soul forgot that it is soul. Now it gets a false identity. That I am this body. So this is the key player here in the enjoying and suffering. The soul is actually Satchidananda Vigraha, transcendental. It has nothing to do with the body. But because of avidya, first of all, it forgot. That means its knowledge is covered because of avidya, that I am soul. On top of that, it gets another covering ahankara, false ego, that gives the identity that I am this body. What exactly happens with this identity is, what is the role of this ahankara is, the soul claims the qualities of the body as its own. Soul is claiming the qualities of the body as its own. What are there in the body? So you have the senses, right? So when the eyes are seeing something, this soul is claiming, I am seeing. When the tongue is tasting, the soul is claiming, I am tasting. Why this is happening? Because of abhinivesha. Abhinivesha means this soul is entering into this body. Because of this ahankara, entering means it is identifying. Already it forgot that it is soul. Forgot means because of avidya, that knowledge is covered. It's in darkness. Now in that darkness, it is imagining, right? Because of this ahankara, that I am this body now. Abhinivesh means you actually enter into that. What happens when you enter into that? You claim. Whatever is done by the body, you claim that you are doing, because you think the soul thinks, I am the senses, I am the mind, I am the intelligence, I am this chitta, I am this ahankara, I am this gross body. At every level, So if the mind, happiness, distress are the functions of the mind. If there is happiness in the mind, the soul thinks, I am happy. But is the soul actually happy? No. It is. So your question is, who is actually experiencing this? So the example that is given here is like a, there's a thief, right? This is a thief. And he stole a necklace. So this is this thief. And second one, he's a cop. So this cop arrested the thief. And is punishing him. He's punishing the thief. And then there is a third person, let's say me. Okay, I am the third person. I see the thief and I see the cop arresting the thief. And the cop is beating the thief and I am crying. I am crying that I stole and now I am being beaten. What does this look like to a fourth person? Right? A fourth person who sees this whole thing will say, Are, why you crazy person, why you're not being beaten? You're not being beaten. He stole and he's getting punished. Why you are crying? You neither stole the necklace, nor are you arrested, nor are you being punished. Why you're crying? So this is like craziness. This is the condition of this soul. This thief who stole is like your body, your mind, intelligence, and all that. And whatever happiness, distress, right, that is imposed. That is why the other day we read in Bhagavad Gita, happiness and distress. Who's cause for the happiness and distress? This Jivatma is responsible. Puruṣaḥ is the cause for happiness and distress. Who's responsible for all the phenomena? The Prakriti is responsible. So seeing, capturing the object image, then getting knowledge about it, that happens in the intelligence. So this whole mechanism of the senses coming in contact with sense objects, and the whole mechanism is carried out by Prakriti. Happiness, distress is also produced in the mind. But who is experiencing it? This soul is experiencing. How the soul is experiencing? Because of this covering of avidya and ahankara, especially this ahankara, both combination actually. Avidya makes him forget that he is spirit soul, and ahankara makes him think that he is body. Under the influence of this ahankara, now he is thinking, I am this mind, I am senses, I am buddhi, I am chitta. So therefore, when the mind is happy, I am happy. I am experiencing happiness. If the mind is sad, I am unhappy. Right? Like that, there are functions. So these functions of mind, happiness, distress, then the function of buddhi is to determine, right? Deciding and producing knowledge. These functions are carried out by whom? By Prakriti, material nature. These functions are carried out by material nature. But happiness and distress experienced by this living entity, who is responsible for that? This living entity is responsible. Happiness and distress he is experiencing, for that he is responsible. How he is experiencing happiness and distress? Because of this avidya and then ahankara. Actually, in reality, is he experiencing happiness and distress? No, he is not experiencing anything. Just like here, this third person. He is not being beaten, he didn't do anything. But he's claiming. What is happening is, this living entity is claiming to be the mind, senses, intelligence, etc. Because of this claiming, when knowledge is produced in intelligence, he claims, I know. When happiness in mind, I am happy, like that. So
for this example that you mentioned, with the me is crying, the
yes,
third,
yeah,
because they think they're the tip being beaten.
yeah,
If that person simply, stopped the identification and realized that they're the fourth person watching,
yeah.
would the pain physically disappear, or
Of
would the pain
course,
still?
of course, because there is actually no pain. The pain is there because it's like hallucination. It's like hallucination. Actually, nothing is happening to me. Nobody is even touching me. So
So,
if I come, that avidya is removed. If that avidya is removed, you won't feel any pain.
okay, the soul is currently identifying with pain through the false ego,
Hmm.
but the soul is actually not feeling the pain. It's the soul just watching the mind feel the pain and mistakenly thinking this is happening to me. Is that correct understanding?
Yeah, that happiness and distress are the functions of the mind. In the mind, they happen. And he's claiming that it is happening to him.
Okay.
But when the avidya is removed, then he won't experience material happiness. He won't experience material distress because that avidya is removed. He won't feel any of that. That is why, so for the removal of that avidya, there are two paths. Jnana marga, bhakti marga. And then if you don't have qualification for jnana or bhakti, then you have to do karma yoga, like that.
So the fourth person is just standing it's as the witness.
Yes,
It's
exactly. He's
the
just watching
person,
this whole thing. Yeah.
yeah, actually safe, untouched, and
Yeah.
nothing to do with whatever it is doing.
Right. Right.
So when a person does some crime, it is the soul hasn't done anything. It's just the mind is doing the person do all the bad things.
So basically he has this avidya and then he's ahankara. Yes. So then you can ask this avidya, how this avidya is able to capture this living entity, you can ask.
Yeah.
Avidya was able to capture, avidya is Bahiranga Shakti's component. Avidya is able to capture the living entity because that living entity does not have paratattva jnanam. Paratattva means absolute truth. The living entity has no knowledge of absolute truth. Therefore, avidya was able to capture. So then how he can get free from this avidya because of which he's claiming he's suffering, or he's claiming to be suffering, and it's not within his control now to come out of it. So that avidya has to leave him. He has to get rid of that avidya. So the cause for that avidya is absence of paratattva jnanam. So now if he gets paratattva jnanam, that avidya will be gone. So paratattvam can be realized either as nirvishesha or savishesha. If you realize paratattva as nirvishesha paratattvam, then you take jnana marga. If you realize paratattvam as savishesha, then you take bhakti marga. And if you don't have qualification for jnana or bhakti, then you do karma yoga. That's the only way to get rid of this avidya.
So, Mataji, one more question. Is the real ego, there is a false ego, and Prabhupada also explains the real ego, right?
Yes.
The true ego.
Yes.
And that is that the soul realizes that it is Satchitananda.
Yes.
Is that all, or does the soul have a unique individual identity even when it is not identifying with a material body?
Yes, it has.
Who am I?
So characteristics of Jivatma. What are the characteristics of Jivatma? Oops. Characteristics of Jivatma. So it has ahamta. So that is ego. It has ego. But what is that ego? Not that I am a servant of Krishna. That ego is I am soul. That ego is there. And then it is chit padartha. Chit padartha means it is conscious. Conscious, not jada, not matter. It is conscious. And then it is what is that called? It's the smallest particle. There's something. Just give me 1 second. I'll just tell you. 1 second. Inherent characters. You're able to see my board, my page.
Yes, Mataji.
So inherent characteristics of Jivatma. So Jivatma is Satchidanandamayam. It is Anuparimana. Yeah. Anuparimana means it is the smallest. That means like you cannot break it into, it is the smallest particle, right? So like when it is said 1/10,000th size of the tip of the hair, it's not possible to break it any smaller than that. You can try, it won't happen. This is the smallest. Anuparimana. Anu means atomic size. Its form, but even though it is so small, it has a form. What is that form? Ekarupa swarupa bhak. That means it is uniform. From whichever angle you see, it looks the same. That means it is so small, it is not possible for you to differentiate hands, legs, head. It's not possible because it is so small. But at the same time, it does not mean it has no form. It has a form. But what is the form? Ekarupa swarupaga. Ekarupa. You look from any angle, it will look the same. Like a dot, like that. It will look uniform from all sides. Then what are the other characteristics? It has aham bhavam. You asked, na? This, does it have ego? Yes, it has ego. But what is that ego? That ego is I am soul. That's all. And it also has gyatritvam, kartritvam, bhoktritvam. Gyatritvam means it has the ability to know. It has the ability to do. Kartritvam means to do. And it has the ability to enjoy. Bhoktritvam. And it has aham bhavam. Aham bhavam means I-ness or ego. And it is chitkana. It is a conscious particle. So these are the characteristics of Jivatma.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you.
Okay. So shall we stop here?
Yes,
Krishna
thank you.
Mataji,
Yeah.
that 4% we can take as a super soul.
You can take as super soul, no problem. Yes, because he's able to see everything clearly. You can take as super soul or you can take as a self-realized person who is able to see. No problem. Okay, we'll end here. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna. Thank
Hare
you so
Krishna.
much.
ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय,
Thank you.
श्रीमद् भगवद गीता की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय,
So,
समवेत गौर भक्तवृंद की जय,
teacher.
वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यो च पतितानां
Patitanam,
पावनेभ्यो
Bhavani,
वैष्णवेभ्यो
Vaishnavyo,
अनन्तकोटिवर्षेभ्यो।
Namo.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.